The first voyage around the world. In the late 1400s, a great new age of European exploration began, led by Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian sailors. They made great voyages into the unknown, full of danger, adventure, and discovery. During these times, spices like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg were highly valuable. Spain wanted to be the wealthiest in terms of spices.
Enter 28 years old Portuguese sailor Ferdinand Magellan. He was a brilliant sailor who'd spent many years traveling across the Indian Ocean. He was deployed by the King of Spain to search for the Spice Islands towards the west.
The king helped him assemble an expedition with 270 crew and 5 ships, known as carracks. The fleet set sail on the 20th of September, 1519. While searching for a passage west, the Santiago became the first ship to be wrecked. Another ship, the San Antonio, deserted and sailed home. 3 ships remained. After these dreadful events, Magellan discovered a 350-mile strait which is now called the Strait of Magellan. Through the far ocean, a sea that seemed so calm, he named it the Peaceful Sea, or as we now call it, the Pacific Ocean. However, the Pacific Ocean was far larger than they estimated.
After a dreadful sailing across the vast ocean, the lookout spotted land, and they finally arrived in the Philippines.
They were the first Europeans ever to reach the Philippines. With Magellan's Malay slave, Enrique of Malacca, acting as translator, they sailed through the Philippines and reached Cebu. There they met the local ruler, Raja Humabon, later baptized a Christian as Don Carlos. They made an alliance with him. Then later on, he persuaded the Europeans to assist him in conquering a rival tribe in Mactan and help defeat his rival, Datu Lapu-Lapu. The Battle of Mactan. This was one of the biggest historic events for the Philippines. It happened on April 27, 1521, on the island of Mactan. It was a fierce clash between the warriors of Lapu-Lapu and the Spanish force of Ferdinand Magellan, who was massively outnumbered. The outcome of this battle resulted in Magellan's death from a poisoned arrow and a retreat of the surviving Spanish crew. This victory of the Philippines is actually believed to have delayed the Spanish colonization of the Philippines by 44 years. Lapu-Lapu is now honored as the first Philippine national hero. Now going back to the Spaniards, the remaining crew were not enough to man the 3 ships. So what they did is they burned the Concepcion and went on with their quest to find the Spice Island. They sailed to Borneo and had help from the local guides for directions. After more than 2 years after leaving Spain, they finally have reached their destination, the Spice Islands. Today a part of Indonesia. They traded everything they had and filled their hulls with spice. Finally, they are ready to go home. One ship, the Trinidad, attempted to return to Spain across the Pacific, but was unsuccessful. They returned to the Maluku Islands and was captured by the Portuguese. The last ship, the Victoria, is the smallest ship of Magellan's fleet. They sailed west under the command of Basque navigator Juan Sebastian de Elcano. It took 9 weeks of difficult sailing across the Indian Ocean. The men starved once more while rounding the Cape of Good Hope. Before they found fresh provisions at Cape Verde, 21 of them died. On the 6th of September, 1522, almost 3 years from their departure, the exhausted crew of Victoria finally arrived at the Spanish port of Sanlúcar de Barrameda. Just 18 of the original crew of 270 had made it home. Among these 18 is Antonio Pigafetta. he is the author of the journal, The First Voyage Around the World. What they and Magellan's expedition had achieved was astonishing. The first voyage of circumnavigation around the globe.